Hi, I'm Scott, and this is Scott Rod's Wicked Rides. Alrighty, how's everybody doing today? So we we're still waiting on the rear end to get done. Like I said, I've never set one up. The guy's been dealing with some issues. His wife's not doing very good. I think she's battling cancer. So I'm gonna be as patient as I can because that's what this guy does. He sets up 10-bolt rear ends for everybody. He does a lot of race car stuff, so I really want him to set it up so I know it's done right. So I'll keep waiting for it. I know I want to get the truck done as soon as possible, but I don't like pressuring people into stuff that do it right because then something could get done wrong. I don't want to do it myself because I don't want it to be done wrong. Anyways, so I just moved it over there. So when he does get time, we will totally be able to load it up easier. But for now, like I keep on saying, Jalopy Fest is coming up here the second weekend in September. So what better time than to get back on the 60 Impala? So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to try and dig that out, and we're going to see how far we get in the next 2 weeks to see if it's a possibility of, if nothing else, I'll have to trailer it over there because it's got 3-inch long tube headers and no exhaust. So yeah, it's going to be loud, but it's super dirty over there anyway, so I'm not really worried about getting it cleaned up really crazy. But yeah, 60 Impala. I think we're going to make a comeback real quick while we're waiting on Sketchy. So pretty sure I have everything for that car. I was waiting on wiring harnesses last time, and then I couldn't find the heater core. Well, I found the heater core, and I got the wiring harnesses. So let's do this. All right, so what we're doing over here right now is, if you look over here, the rocker shafts weren't big enough to screw these on safely to start setting up the valve lash. So I've got longer studs that I need to put oil on, put them in there, torque them to 50 foot-pounds, put my rocker arms back on, which I put a little bit of assembly lube on the push rod end and on the roller end. And then you need to back these all the way out so you can at least get the rocker locker all the way down to where the rocker is at least snug before you can obviously tighten them up, but you still need to spin this and do what you need to do to set the valve lash. So we've at least got them to where they'll work right now. So that's what I'm working on right now. We are putting longer rocker studs in the 305 with 400 cylinder or 400 small block cylinder heads on my 1960 Impala. So that's what I'm doing right now. Here we go. So a little recap of this week. On Sunday, after I was done filming and editing and finishing up my stuff, I got a phone call from one of the band members. Well, he got a flat tire on the way to work, and well, like most new vehicles, if you don't know, you might want to look in your trunk or look underneath or look around, because most of the new vehicles don't come with a spare tire. He hit something in the middle of the road. It took a chunk out of the sidewall, so it went flat. He didn't have anywhere else to go, didn't have anything else to do, couldn't get it switched himself. So I went, hooked up truck and trailer, brought it over here, and Monday morning I was going to go get him some tires at Walmart, like I usually do for the people that need something right away. So we get it all over here, we get it all torn apart. I get the tires off to Walmart, like it said that they had them, but it said they had them online, not in stock. So I go to my local Walmart and they didn't have any in stock. I called the Walmart that's right down the street from there. They didn't have any in stock. I called the Walmart that's the other way, a little bit further. They didn't have any in stock. So long story short, I was at Walmart and yep, well, I went down the Hot Wheels aisle. Imagine that. And found a couple cool vans. Found one color shift one that had the little flame on it, and I'm pretty sure those are like treasure hunt things. I don't know. I don't know much about all that stuff. I'm in a bunch of groups, but kind of cool. There's a Dodge old school van, so I had to grab that. And then I seen a couple old like Woody van, like my stepdad's turbo minivan, so got that too. And then my dad just so happened to show up with the red minivan, so I thought that was kind of funny. And then I found the Charger. Yeah, found a lot more Hot Wheels. So moved on, kept calling places, and I found some tires. So we got some tires. They got delivered the next morning. I dropped the tires off Monday night because I had to drive Tuesday. Tuesday morning, yep, well, found more Hot Wheels. I went and stopped at the Walmart that's right down the street from where I go get trailers at, and my first time ever, there was a lady restocking the shelf. I've never actually been there for a restock for some of my collectors. Had no idea. That was kind of cool. So I got the Charger that everybody's been talking about. That I don't know, we're Mopar family, so I'm glad I got the pink Charger. I got the Batmobile boat. I got a handful of other stuff, but literally soon as the lady got done stocking the shelf, I was just talking with her. She was kind of from Mattel telling me about other stuff. This guy pops around the corner and he literally digs through all of them. I don't know, about 2 foot from me, like right in front of me before I could go through them. Well, he skipped right past it because there was a motorcycle in there and it was a treasure hunt. So I grabbed that and I took that home. Anyways, talk about toys again. So we get going on our way, and so I grab my trailer, I grab my parts, and I get back home. I thought the tires were going to be ready for the Jeep. Well, they were busy at the tire shop, so they weren't ready then. So Wednesday, had to drive back, get another trailer, had to get some more parts, stopped at another place, imagine that, and then come back home. So Wednesday when I got home, the tires were done. I brought them over here. I got the tires back on the Jeep, so that was at least done and out of the way. It's already halfway through the week. I didn't want to bother the guy on the rear end again, so I kind of just kept doing my thing. So we got the G35 cleaned up. It's been needing it for a long time. I really scrubbed the hell out of it this time. So yeah, you can see in these pictures and then that videos that yeah, this thing was shining like a mirror in the sun on what Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Because I was out driving around a little bit because yeah, I was having a little fun in that car, finally getting it out and about, showing off seats that Cassie did. So we did a little bit of that. I went for a ride in it. Here, we'll put a little clip into the ride right now on the GoPro. My first time using the GoPro since we did the YouTube channel, so let's try it out. Let's go for a ride in the G35. driving the G35, I was like, hey, you know what? I got the GoPro out. Let's see how this turns out. So let's go for a ride in the rat rod because that's just different too. And I had to move it from the house garage to back here because I was doing some other stuff. So, oh, because the Jeep was here, so I had to move the rat rod back home. Yeah. So let's go watch that video now of us cruising the rat rod from my house back down to the shop. So let's see how that turns out this week. See if you guys like that. But I got the GoPro going again, so there's a couple of car rides in the GoPro. Nothing special yet. I just wanted to kind of test drive it. And so speaking of test driving it, after driving the G35 from sitting, and like I said, I'm not going to bug the guy in the rear end. Whenever it happens, it happens. I have all the stuff now, so, and it's right by the doorway. So when he's ready to come and get it, I want him to do it. I don't really want nobody else touching it. So therefore, obviously, I have a shop full of projects. Sketchy is going to get put more postponed, which I really didn't want to, but it is what it is. Like I said, we're going to deal with it. So as you see, this is a different end of the 60 Impala. I dug out 60 Impala, and yeah, well, we did some time lapses of me starting on it. I looked at my list that I had on my windshield, and one of the first things that I needed to do to it before I forgot was it got new 1.6 rocker arms. So with the new rocker arms, it needed taller rocker studs. I didn't know that right away. I had everything all going pretty good last time I was working on it, and that's kind of what stopped me. So the first thing I wanted to do to make sure it was going to work was put my longer rocker studs in there. Well, so I got those started and installed, and I guess I opened up the wrong side of the package, because when I got to the other side of the cylinder head, I got the torque specs and they were more than what my book said for the Chevy. So I had to recap, and I stopped filming and I just redid it real quick. So instead of 50 foot-pounds, it was 70 foot-pounds. I thought that was a big enough difference to where I wanted to retorque them. So I took all the rocker arms off of the passenger side again. I retorqued those real quick, and then I started doing more time lapse on the driver's side as I did those. We got all the way to the last one, and this one used to have manual brakes on it. Well, I did a disc brake conversion kit to it, and I put a power booster on it. Well, long story short on that too, with the longer shaft and the brake booster, couldn't fit my torque wrench in there. I tried a couple different sockets. I tried it a couple different ways. So I had to take the brake booster loose, and I had to get the torque wrench down there after that. I kind of stopped last night so I didn't mess up anything or forget anything, because I was in the middle of stuff. I had some friends stop by, so they're kind of hanging out. I just didn't want to forget. So I left it at that last one. So this morning, Sunday, I came down here, hurried up, loosened up the brake booster, hurried up, put on that last rocker stud, and put on that last rocker locker. So now everything is at least ready to have the valves set. Before I set the valves, I think I'm going to go ahead and finish the underneath stuff, because I think I was at the torque converter bolts. So I should have to put the torque converter bolts into the flex plate, which pretty sure there's only 3, maybe 4 of them. That was an issue I had before. We'll talk about that later when I get the car done. So we are getting actually really close to having the Impala done, like I was last time. I think I got stopped on the harnesses because I've seen a couple busted plugs. I want to do this right. I like doing my stuff right. It's my car. I made that call on it. So I stopped everything last year at the same exact time, and we ordered factory harnesses from Classic Industries. So I have, I'm pretty sure, a headlight harness, taillight harness, and a new fuse harness with an engine harness. So all of it pretty much, I think, is going to be brand new harness-wise for the Impala. So I'm going to get the engine all ready to go, and then once the engine's all bolted up and the valves are all set, and I got the spark plugs back in it, and we got the linkage all hooked up, and I got the throttle pedal all hooked up, and I got the brake pedal all hooked up, we're going to run all the harnesses. I got sway bar to put on, I got front shocks to put on, and then I'm going to get the heater core pressure tested, and if I can get that done and back before Jalopy Fest, we'll put the heater core in. But if not, I don't need a heater core to make it run and go in and out of the show. I'm not, it's not cold out yet. So that's where we're at right now in the shop. Everything else is kind of going to get forgot about for a minute, and I'm going to really try and get the 60 Impala back on the streets with all the new parts, all new suspension, all new engine. Had a new transmission when I bought it. The gears got redone on it. The bushings got redone on it. It's got new brakes on the front of it. I just want to hear it run again. It's going to be really loud, so eventually I'm going to have to get exhaust, because it's just open 3-inch long tube headers. So I'm going to quit rambling. I'm going to quit going on and on and on, because I just want to start working on this again. So I'm going to get done with this right here. I'm going to go get it edited for you guys for Monday morning, which should be tomorrow, hopefully, if it loads up correctly this week. Yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff coming up here real quick, because we got this going on. We got Jalopy Fest coming up, and then after Jalopy Fest, we should have Autobahn Racing coming up a week or 2 after that. And hopefully in the middle of all that stuff going on, we'll get the rear end out to the guy and we'll get that done. And then hopefully when I get back to where I can start working in here again, this will be out of the way and I can get the frame in here and we'll get sketchy back together. So bear with me. I'm trying. I don't usually restore my personal vehicles, so yeah, it's fun hitting roadblocks, isn't it? So project number, 67. We're gonna get back on 1960 Chevy Impala. You guys have a great day. You guys have a great week. Thank you for all your following, all your comments. Hope you like what you see. Stay tuned because yeah, we got a lot more cool shit coming up real quick. So if you like what you see, hit that like, subscribe, and notification button because we have new videos coming out every Monday.